Good evening, I'm Cynthia Mulligan at the Old City Hall Courthouse, where there is going to be a resolution tomorrow in a controversial sex assault case. Mandi Gray is the complainant in the case, and the judge made headlines when he pushed the boundaries with his verdict. He found Mustafa Euroyar guilty, but the verdict was overturned on appeal. The court ruled the original judge used too much rape literature to reach his verdict. And while it has just been revealed there will not be a retrial, instead, Euroyar will sign a peace bond tomorrow, which is not an admission of guilt. He will have to stay away from Gray for a year. This is a case that shows just how hard it is to try sex assault cases in the courts. The two knew each other. They were PhD students at York University and had had a casual relationship, and there was some alcohol involved. Now tonight, Mandi Gray, who is an outspoken feminist activist, speaks about the trial in the aftermath and in this Me Too climate. And we find there are no easy answers.
Technically, tomorrow, you cannot call yourself a victim. And as well, he's innocent. And yet, this man has been convicted and vilified by many on social media. Is that justice?
I don't think it's necessarily justice. Just because a man has used violence doesn't mean that he's necessarily evil or a bad person. This is a person who used, or allegedly used, violence in one particular situation.
You can't even say alleged after tomorrow.
Right. And so I think that in terms of and it's difficult with social media, and it was never my intention to vilify him. I rarely ever even talk about him as a person or as an individual. When I reported was at the height of Ghomeshi just being charged, and all these media, politicians, everybody was coming out, report, you know, it's not like it used to be. There's no victim blaming. Courtrooms are really, you know, like they understand trauma, which was in direct contrast to what I actually experienced. So I felt like the height of the Ghomeshi, the We Believe Survivors movement, that really provided me with a false sense of security.
Do you fear a backlash with this Me Too campaign? I mean, women are coming forward like never before. Is there a downside to this, in your opinion?
I think that what I've witnessed is that people stop taking these allegations seriously because there's just so many of them, and they don't know how to respond, or what do you want me to do now? And I genuinely worry that the backlash will look like legal consequences in the terms of people who are making these accusations primarily on social media will be sued and will face other consequences for speaking out.
You told me a few months ago that the trial was worse than the alleged assault. Would you do it again?
Knowing what I know now, I think that there's no other option. I mean, in terms of returning to campus and feeling I have some sort of safety in my everyday life, there is no other avenue. So although it was brutalizing, although it was terrible, I don't see there being any alternatives.
Now, Mandi Gray tells me she has received death threats because of the trial. We wanted to talk to Mustafa Euroyar, and we wanted to see if he felt that there was a better way to resolve these types of cases. He declined the interview, but his lawyer, Daniel Brown, emailed us and said, quote, "The adversarial system can be bruising for all sides, yet this system is essential to get to the truth, to the extent that this is possible, and to safeguard against wrongful convictions."